recovering Lord Sullen's xylophone certainly sounds like a charming ruckus. Don't get me wrong, but I'm looking for a quest to be remembered by. One final adventure for future generations to share. Surely, my dear friend, you can relate to that. Oh, hello, Gwendolyn. Come on in.
Where did your friend go?
Why, he's right behind you, keeping warm by the fire.
There's no one there.
Not to worry, he'll be back. Always bouncing in and out, that one, like a slingshot.
Grandpa, we need to talk.
Of course, sweetheart. What'll it be? Dragons, treasure, love stories.
We need to talk about this.
I see. Come here. I am so sorry. I should have told you when I had the chance.
I'm just not ready for you to go.
Listen to me. I am not leaving you, not yet. The mirror promised me one final adventure.
But the doctors, they said...
Has the magic mirror led us astray before? I'll be here for one more adventure, no matter what any doctor says.
So, where's this adventure taking place?
I haven't decided yet, but it's going to be grand. One for the tapestries of time. I was thinking Serenia, or a family trip back to Avalon.
Grandpa, you can't even get out of bed.
Oh, I can get out of bed all right, just saving up my strength.
I need to know why.
Why? I thought it would be nice to have an adventure outside these walls with the whole family.
No, not that. I need to know why the doctors can't fix you. There has to be a magical fruit that can cure you, or a spell to extend your life. I just can't believe that you're only suffering from old age.
Take a seat. There are a few more stories I have yet to share. For as long as I can remember, adventure always had a way of finding me. But as I grew older, I had to find adventure for myself.
Sweetheart, are you sure you need to go out questing for trouble at our ripe old age?
Darling, this old hat may be tattered, but it's not ready to be hung up yet.
I know. I know. As long as you're living, you'll be working to make Daventry perfect. But what's the point of working so hard if we never can enjoy it? We still haven't watched a single sunset from the Rose Garden.
But there's still so much to do, love. I need to stay sharp. I just don't want my legacy to fizzle out like King Edward's.
Do what you like. I know I won't be able to convince you otherwise.
I probably should have stayed back and watched that sunset, but I had adventure on my mind. Perhaps there was another lost treasure to recover, or a unicorn to be rescued. Oh, if I was lucky, a hideous beast would be terrorizing the kingdom.
You deserve a chance to celebrate your accomplishments. What else are you looking for, Graham? You've given enough, love. Please don't leave. I've said my piece and have nothing more to add.
Okay. I'm just checking the microphone levels. They're kind of all over the place, but I think it's okay. Got a nice run. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing.
The town was always a good place to start an adventure. Perhaps I should start there.
So he's old and he wants to have one more adventure.
Wait, aren't you forgetting...
Huh? What was that?
Oh, never mind. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Amaya and I cleared out all the spiniferous thornweeds in the backwoods and planted a lovely rose garden instead.
Wait, what happened to the snarling Snarlaxes? With purple eyes, blue glowing pupils, 6 legs, 3 claws, and 1 tooth.
They had to be crumbled. Ruin the castle's curb appeal, I'm afraid.
Wait, did they crumble an animal? Like a living animal? That's kind of what it sounded like. Sitting simulator. Maybe this is a maybe this is a reference to Phantasmagoria because there's a lot of sitting in that. As much as I'd like to explore, it looks like it's all from one camera angle, so might as well just keep going.
Clang! That copper bell brought me right back to my younger days as a squire.
Hold on, Grandpa.
Yes, sweetheart?
It wasn't a bell.
Oh? And what was it?
A horn. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Forgive my momentary lapse of memory. A patch of fire impeded my path forward. A mere brain teaser to get my logic wheels spinning.
Poor guy's got a fire on his back.
He probably knows we don't have the croissant.
He needs to work on his time management skills.
He is a weak link.
After Alexander returned, we sealed up the goblin holes.
He'd better come soon.
As long as he knows the password, you have to let him in. And now, Pilar, I don't know if I'd say it like that.
Years ago, if my memory serves me correctly, we redesigned that old meeting space into a commemorative fountain honoring every guard who ever served the Kingdom of Daventry. The fountain was meant for every guard who served Daventry, but I couldn't help shedding a tear for Larry every time I passed by.
Who's Larry? Oh, Larry was one of the... He was either the guy that was rode on, or he was the guy who was riding. I feel like I should have done the memorial for the bridge trolls, though, since this was the bridge troll meeting place. I guess there's nothing to do.
For years, Kyle still walked around like he was holding someone on his back. Let's move on. If I stay here too long, I'll tear up.
I don't remember what happened to Larry.
Meant for every guard who served Daventry, but I remember those steps being a lot lower. I used to just whisk up and down them.
It's kind of sad, this chapter. There's water here since I've got it.
Remembering this right? We redesigned the space into a memorial honoring Pilar and Mr. Watts. Pilar transferred to Ludor in the summer of 1679, and she was annoyed to find out there was, in fact, no bridge troll guild in existence there. Hungry and poor, she discovered a new cause to rally behind. She founded the first charity whose mission was to feed the trolls. Waddles retired when I took the throne. He stayed local, though, and created most of the art and tapestries that you see on the castle walls. It finally became the drawbridge that he always dreamed of. I just know he's in the sky, proudly serving as the second largest star in the Midwestern Hemisphere. Did you want to hear this part again? Waddles retired when I took the throne. Yeah, I'm not reciting that long paragraph again. Tough luck. All right, once more. Pilar transferred.
I mean, there was water in the fountain I could use to put out the fire, but I don't have anything to put water in. You can do the same with sand.
We
Maybe.
redesigned the space into a sandbox that all the children of Daventry could enjoy.
There's a bucket.
Hey, how come I never got to play in that sandbox?
Your father was always paranoid about badgers doing their business in there, and would never let me take you. Ah, a randomly placed item to add to my inventory. My adventure was already off to a great start. We redesigned the space into a commemorative fountain. Ah, life-giving water, nectar of the gods. The fire was extinguished, my journey continued.
Ah, that's better. Thanks, King Goosey.
You're very welcome, friend.
Wait, what's going on? Where's Ulfie?
What do you mean, sweetheart? He's right there. Ulfie, a magical talking bridge.
What?
Oh, hold on a second. You may be right. Ulfie was a bridge with a troll on his back, right? Oh, sorry. I mean a troll with a bridge on his back.
Correct.
How did your back catch on fire?
Oh, I'm not sure. Ulfie was taking a nap and then became very itchy. Probably just another heat rash.
A cool bath with 2 cups of oatmeal should clear that up. It's worked wonders for me.
Yeah, your skin does look fantastic for 86.
Well, that's a shame. I'm 77.
Oh, my apologies, King. At 386, Ulfie's memory isn't what it used to be.
I know. You told me that yesterday.
Oh, I did, didn't I? Can you believe how old we've grown?
It seems like only yesterday we were dancing the dance of the official Bridge Troll Guild. And all the paths through Daventry were wide open. I just hope I chose the right direction, because my journey has become a bit of a straight line lately.
Oh, I hope that's not why you squeezed into your adventuring gear. It's been Ulfie's pleasure to watch your little bridge take root and blossom into King Graham the Brave. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, if you enjoyed my earlier accomplishments, wait until you see the greatness my next adventure will bring. I couldn't wait to get into town. The square was probably full of people in need of an adventurer. Someone to fetch treasures or forage rare ingredients. On that day, I would have taken any quests offered. One slight problem. I couldn't remember which way the town was. Which way was to town again? My muscle memory was having a hard time remembering.
The fire looks bad. Oh.
What is this place?
I'm not sure. I don't think I went this way until later. I better turn back.
The controls are reversed. Deal with that. Are they supposed to be reversed?
Oh, please, no! Is this how I would be remembered? I had to enter those flames before my legacy was burned to the ground.
It inverted the wrong controls. I don't know if controller vibration's working. Fine.
I saved one treasure, but it wasn't good enough. I pushed myself to grab another one. Even in my old age, I was still pretty smoking.
Seems to be highly flammable.
Your grandpa's on fire. With all these puns, that is.
I don't like these backwards controls. Wait. That's reversed too. Weird. Yeah, that doesn't seem to do anything at all.
Two treasures saved. They were charred, but not beyond repair. I probably should have stopped there, but there was no turning back now.
Grandpa, what were you thinking?
Shh. I need to concentrate.
Was all that really worth it?
Sorry, have my stories been good enough?
What do you mean? Your stories have been amazing.
I'm just not sure. There's so much more I could have told you. There are so many other details that I forgot to mention.
Grandpa, your stories are perfect. Just the way they are.
I just needed more time. Give me a few moments. I need to fill you in on some other details.
Grandpa, I'd like to remember the stories how they were first told to me.
They'll be better with all this stuff I forgot. Trust me.
Please don't ruin my memories.
Okay, back to normal. What? Chapter's kind of depressing.
What are those?
Fairies, I couldn't figure out where they fit in the story.
Perhaps the story was better without them.
Did I tell you that the goblins rode around on rats in the caves?
No, but how does that make any sense?
Naked mole rat. Okay, that says 6. 5. 3, 4, 7. 1, 2.
See that? This is Tree Dorman, Amaya's partner.
Grandpa, Amaya doesn't need a partner. She's a strong woman by herself. Besides, he kind of seems underdeveloped.
You may be right.
Okay. 1 and 2 is red. 1 and 2 is red. 3 is gold. That is not green. Gold This one. Purple is that one. Alright, that's red. Gold, purple. Wait. Yeah. Gold, purple, green, red. Red, red. Gold, purple. Can't tell if those are red or orange. Those are definitely red. Like a dark red. Is this the same red? Looks like it's not as dark. Maybe this?
And Whisper's song. How could I have forgotten Whisper's song? He sang it to Amaya when Alexander first met them.
I think a song would have made that chapter a little too long.
In the past, Whisper may have raved about how Whisper was brave. But my boldest feat on land or sea is loving you more than I love me. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy.
There was another puzzle in the ice labyrinth. I feared it was too hard.
Oh, I cut it
to
off.
understand. But perhaps I was wrong.
I wanted to hear it.
Find a way to get everyone on the switches.
Balls. Can't go back. What? What? Oh. No, that doesn't make any sense. They should be able to walk back. I mean, one guy is going to be prevented from moving, and the other guy should move back with no problem. So I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe it's broken? See? Because if there was a problem, that other guy wouldn't have been able to move. Oh wait, I mean, that guy can't go that way. Dumb. Why even put anything in that corner if I can't walk into it? Stupid. Now I can walk there. Now I can walk there, okay.
Oh, and there was this whole other hidden Wetzel wolf cave. Did I ever tell you about the time I raced on top of the bridge trolls? What about my sorcery battle with the winged ones?
Stop! Your stories were perfect. Didn't you tell me that no story is ever done? It just stops being rewritten?
I will go back and fix them. We were planted in Daventry at the same time, but just like my legacy, this tree would outgrow me. We were planted in Daventry at the same time, but the fuse from the Crumbler 2 was still stuck to the walls, and it appeared the shop had not been sold yet.
What was that?
There were many crumblers over the years, but the first one was my favorite.
Triumph commemorative plate.
She never stopped filling those work orders. No! No! My castle! I ran back home to make sure everyone was safe.
Well, hello there, friend.
Manny, hasn't your game grown tired and old?
Oh, I'm quite finished expending my efforts to refine this cesspit. I sacrificed my best years to the pursuit of a better Daventry. Now there's nothing left for me to do except watch as it burns to the ground and to hope that it will all be forgotten.
It was never about a better Daventry, and you know it. You just want to prove you're better than me.
Better than you? What have you ever contributed to this kingdom? If I didn't rig the night tournament, you wouldn't even be standing here. No, you owe your entire legacy to all the cretins that sacrificed their lives to build it.
Well then, leave my family out of this. Come out of hiding and face me alone. I'll grant you the rematch you so desperately seek.
Graham, your bones are too weak for a duel of strength, and your ankles would fracture in any contest of speed. Would your rusty memory even provide any decent competition in a game of wits?
What's the matter, Manny? Are you afraid if I win, you will run out of excuses for why you were never crowned king?
All right. First, prove to me that you're still strong and quick. You know where to find me.
All right, mine, don't fail me now. Ah, that's right. I had tried my hand at designing an escape room. One key was definitely locked in here. If only I could remember the combination. These things are always more fun in groups.
I see 4 pink animals. Wait. 5. Like hidden back there though. 6. 7.
Wonderful, my favorite. Abstract art. I can't quite recall what the picture looked like. Was it purple? Was it pink? Was it orange? Was it pink? Was it purple? Wait 1 sec.
Black. Here. Black gate.
I may be remembering this wrong. Wait 1 sec.
I mean, purple is the closest to black, generally, but... That's black. Go with it. I think the goat one is gonna be how much those things weigh. How much this one weighs. Which is... Those each weigh 2. These must weigh 3. Yeah, those weigh 3. So that's 2 times 3 plus 3, which is 9? Yeah, 9. Goat. Goat. Goat is 9. I don't see that frog anywhere though. See the frog? Why even let me over here if there's nothing over here? This chapter has a lot of that. A lot of areas that just don't seem to serve any purpose and just kind of waste your time. Maybe it makes the world feel more fleshed out or something. Mostly it's just kind of annoying. Zero? Zero an option?
I may be remembering this wrong. Was it pink? Was it orange? Was it purple? Was it orange? Was it pink? Wait 1 sec.
There's a two. There's a two in it. You put them all together. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Seven zero two nine. Unless there's a frog somewhere that I haven't seen. doesn't seem to be anything in this place that I can use any items on. Usually if you can use an item, it'll show up in the mirror. I mean, if you can use an item on the item, or if you can use an item on the object, it'll show up, the object will show up in the mirror.
I may be remembering. Wait one
One
second.
there. I think that's the same one that I can see here, right? Yeah, I think it must be the same one.
I may be remembering this wrong. Was it purple?
There's the top of the two.
Was it pink?
The bottom of the two.
Was it orange?
The middle of the two.
Wait one sec.
Two. It's gotta be a two. I counted 7 pink bunnies. Checked and rechecked. Recounted bunnies. And this dude weighs 9 measurements. That one's 3. They're each 2. 6 plus 3, which is 9. It's gotta be 9. Only one I don't know about is a frog, which I just assume it's 0 because I haven't seen a frog anywhere. Unless it's like hidden somehow. Says it'll help clear my tunnel vision, but there's nowhere I can use the candle that I can find that I have found. Doesn't seem to be anywhere to use the candle. There's also no tunnels, which is why I went outside to look for tunnels, but didn't find any. I guess it's 8. Don't know why it's 8. Why is the frog 8? Why is the frog 8?
I may be remembering this wrong. Was it purple?
There's 8 of them there, but that's not a frog. It's a squirrel.
Was it pink? Wait one sec.
Why is the frog 8? I don't know.
Daventry's pumpkins thrived after the squirrels moved back to Avalon. Why, hello, old friend.
I'm gonna take a quick break here. Okay.
There's nothing else to see that way.
Oh. I was actually able to make it through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it was 8. So like if I was supposed to count these frogs, this isn't 8, this is 6. And if you scare them off, you can look at that 1, but like, that's not 8 either, that's just 1.
Wake up, Graham. Your mind is strong. Hold on, that's not right. Apologies, it was a... Hold on, that's not right. Apologies, it was a... Wake up, apology. Hold on, wake up.
I guess there's something I can do with that frog, but that's not it. I would have just assumed that white stuff was a dead end and not even tried it, except that I did try it. Is it dead because it burned? Or is it just dead? Is it old?
She never stopped filling those words. There were many... It seemed like when I was younger, every door was open to me. But as I grew, one by one, they began to close. Locked as well. Really only leaves me with one choice. Hold on, that's not right. Wake up, Graham. Apologies. Hold on, apologies. I was happy my lighting project had been implemented, but I did miss using my pumpkin lantern.
I think I know where I need to use that shovel, but I'm gonna keep going this way anyway.
After Alexander returned, we sealed up the goblin holes.
Good thing that's not breakable. Got all three of them.
Something seems off.
It's different.
The key was a bit too high for me to reach. Hold on, that's Apollo. Wake up, Graham. Apollo. Hold on, wake up.
The end of it.
Goblins thrived in the rocks to the east. So I stayed away.
It's always knife to meet the Pun King. I got a knife. Can't think of anything I needed a knife. What?
Hold on, that's not right.
Ah, there we go. Okay. What? Lot. KFPDBSRI. I was gonna spell sir because you can spell sir with the numbers or the letters on the plate, but there's not an R here, so maybe I'll come back. That looks different. The island? Like, I don't remember it having those tents on it before. Maybe I have to find a way to get out there somehow? Or maybe it did look like that. I don't get this. Could try to knife a frog. Oh, Pun King. Pumpkin. Pun King. What? How did he get a... How did he get a fishing pole from a pumpkin? That's just luck. I made it through that white area. Got an 8 on it. Where the 8 comes from. But why would that one be in the world when the others were not? Seems really inconsistent. Also, that doesn't help me get anywhere. Oh, now I've got a frog though. Maybe I can use the frog somewhere? But like... I don't know, man. Gotta figure out a 3-letter word. Or maybe it's an acronym. Could just try to brute force it. I'd rather not, though. I brute force the frog thing, but pretty easy to do. Oh yeah, there was nothing to use anything on here anyway. I don't... I don't have any more hints. Oh. Maybe I can use that frog on the like toadstool things? Maybe. Those are the two. Loading. Okay. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of options. Boy's back. I don't know if you can even see him though. He's on my lap though. Good boy. Hole's open again. Put the frog in the hole.
I may be remembering this wrong.
Hey, it's a different gun. Fell over. So, what if I leave and come back again? Okay, now it's they're closed up again. There's nothing here. Try it again. Thinking of 3-letter words. Log, dog, log. Can't take the ladder. Guess I'm done with it. That leaves me only one thing, that 3-letter word. But there's no hints. Is it something that happened in one of the earlier chapters and I just don't remember? Is it the name of somebody? Something else that I have to find that I missed? What are these letters around the outside? You can't really spell a word with it because there's only one syllable. Syllable. I. No T. So D. Kid? Rid almost sort of makes sense since the picture of him writing. Oh! It's Rip. Rest in peace, I guess? I don't know. I don't get it. I never would have gotten that. Commemorative, I think. Commemorative? Memorial means it died. I think that said it was a commemorative plate. If it said memorial plate, then I guess rest in peace makes sense. I don't know. I don't know, man. When in doubt, brute force it. Gotta go use my keys. Key to victory is within my grasp. Keyed up.
Apologies, it was I remembered where all the keys were, and the lock was open, which proved my mind was still quick. I pocketed the chromium. It was too rare to leave sitting on the ground.
Look at that frog. It ends where it began. I let the dragon free. I don't know if that's gonna play a part. If it doesn't, I'm gonna be disappointed. Skeleton.
I'm gonna feel that for the next 10 years. I don't remember adventures being so hard on the knees. Forget leg day. I need to strengthen these ankles day.
Is that a thing when you get older? Is your ankles give you trouble? I know knees. Knees give a lot of people trouble. Okay, one of these will kill you and one of them won't. I don't remember which one. Try this one.
Well, I didn't feel that one. I'm not sure that's a good thing.
Must be this one that kills you. Right. Yep. He knew it was gonna come too.
I can't go out like that.
Kelly knew it was coming because of the way that he touched it.
Well, I didn't feel that one. I'm not sure that's a good thing.
Almost sounds like he's not sure that getting crushed to death is... or not getting crushed.
Keep your eyes peeled, Gordon. He should be here any second.
You know how I feel about that name.
Fine, Mordak. Open your eyes. Look alive. Don't screw this up.
Screw this up? Might I remind you, it's my magic keeping you alive.
Yes, and when your magic concocts a working batch of Cosmolotion, I'll praise you. But my patience has grown thin, and I will not tolerate any more mistakes.
Brother, I warned you to stay away from those potions. You wouldn't hear it. I've wasted 30 years of my life trying to duplicate Hagatha's formula. And I'm afraid at this point, I'm ready to move forward or move on.
Is your mind slipping in your golden years? Have you forgotten everything I've sacrificed for you? I took you in from the cold. I saved you from a life of goblin slavery. And you have the gall to complain about 30 measly years?
Well, sometimes it still feels like I'm a slave to a goblin.
Hold your tongue, Morden, or I will.
Mordak, didn't I extinguish your flame years ago?
I was hiding under the floorboards.
I knew it.
How's the family?
Getting along surprisingly well since you shrunk them.
So glad to hear that.
Uh-huh. You mind moving out of the way? I have some business to attend to with your boss.
Mananin has strictly forbidden me to let you pass. Unless you can convince me that your mind is still strong and quick.
And how might I go about that?
Follow those clearly labeled signposts.
Of course.
Bring me back proof that you have completed each trial, and then I will escort you to Mananin.
I know you won't answer honestly, but I'll ask anyway. Is all this some form of an elaborate trap designed to crush my bones, yank my arms out, or contort my body into a twisted sculpture of death?
No.
Sounds like some good clean fun.
You have your proof yet? Where's your proof? You have your proof yet? Where's your proof?
I can't figure out if something just broke or snapped back into place.
Kryptonite?
Grandpa, are you alright?
I just haven't thought about these stories, in a long time.
Your ears are all red.
Just give me a moment. This part gets a little wacky. I think I should rest a bit first. You mind getting Grandma in here?
I'll be back after your nap.
Get your rest, dear. I'll be back after dinner.
I'll be fine. Take your time.
Just ring the bell if you need me.
Good night, my love.
Sorry, you're what?
Remember your promise? Always seek adventure. Aha!
Sorry, you're poorly.
I wondered where you went off to. No, it's not time yet. I was promised another. I'll fight it, I assure you. But... oh, I'm afraid you're right. You've always been a straight shooter. It's true. The mirror never promised I would live another adventure. Only that my adventure would live on. Just let me say goodbye.
Avanata.
Oh, it's a Chaka?
Do you smell that germite, Graham? It's a toxic fume, I'm afraid. One that is said to challenge the strength of the mind.
So it's kryptonite. Huh. Huh. Must be a reference. Looks like a Chaka. I got the score. Can't go back. Dang. Hey. Looks familiar. Played this one. This is 5. Oh my gosh, I can't skip it. Skip everything, but I can't skip this. Twice is enough. Walks real slow. Hey!
Graham? Is that you?
Amaya? Wait, if you're here, does that mean that I am?
Well, what's your gut telling you?
That it would rather be filled with jelly beans instead of dread.
Calm down. It's not your time yet. I'm just here to help you navigate your own feelings.
Is there any advice buried in there? Perhaps on outsmarting Manny? Or how I can make sure the legacy of King Graham the Brave will not be forgotten?
Is that what you're worried about? No wonder your stomach is tied in knots.
Let me have it.
Legacies are not about what you leave behind for people, Graham. They're about what you leave inside of people. Your kingdom might be best left for the young.
That's it? You don't have any sarcastic barbs or any items to give me that will eventually solve all my troubles?
Hey, I've given you everything I have to give. You're gonna have to complete this quest on your own.
Wake up, Graham. Your mind is strong.
Down here. Seems to be moving quicker. Could be just my perception.
You have your proof yet? Great. Set that over there, and let me know when you've completed the trial of speed. I still need proof that you completed the trial of speed. I still need proof that you...
Where's the trial of speed?
Excellent. Right this way, please.
Okay. The real trial of speed was the friends we made along the way.
Well, where is he?
Meow. Charmed, I'm sure.
Are you kidding me? You wish to challenge me like this?
Careful what you say, King. My species has no bearing on my abilities.
I have no problems with cats, Manny, or goblins, or sphinxes. My issues are all with you.
No matter. The duel hasn't even begun, yet I've already won. Are you aware that you've hand-delivered everything I need to complete another batch of Cosmolotion?
Shocker.
Allow me to explain that you, King Graham the Imbecile, have once again...
Yeah. Wax poetic for 2 more hours, won't you? Pardon my vacant expression, though. I can barely hear out of my left ear anymore.
Fine. Have it your way. I'll speak with brevity. Long sentences. Drawn-out syllables to emphasize a point. Raising my voice. More sesquipedalian words. Overuse of the term moron. And I'll need a hair from your beard for my final ingredient.
See you at sundown?
Meet me at the floating island.
Good chat.
We are going back to the floating island.
Dad,
We brought you some treats. Dad?
Oh. Well.
Grandpa!
No.
Dad, say something.
Story.
Gwendolyn, go get the nursemaids.
No.
What do you want me to do? What can I get you? You want Mom? Mom!
Story.
Sorry?
No, story.
The story. Help me finish it.
Let's get him back in bed. Grab his feet.
Graham!
I couldn't reach the bell.
I should have known you would try to escape.
I thought I needed one more adventure. One last trophy to hang on these shelves. But the only treasures I need are standing right beside me.
It's okay, love. You can stop fighting. It's time.
Not before my story is done. You have to finish it.
Me? I don't know how it ends.
I'll help you.
I can't. I'm not ready. Gart should tell it.
Grandfather's passing his hat to you. I think you should take it.
Go ahead, Cuddlebug.
King Grandpa, the greatest adventurer to ever live, would do anything in his power to protect his family. As the sun set atop the floating island, Mordak placed the final goblet down for a toxic duel of wits.
That's a great start.
Welcome, friend. I'm glad you could make it.
Manannan restored himself back into human form using the ingredients Grandpa had unknowingly brought to him. But he was weak. The Germite crystal was the only thing keeping him alive.
Mordak has carefully designed a series of trials to test our wits. Don't worry, he hasn't given me any answers. Some of the goblets have been topped with hypnotic powder. We will complete each station individually. If you drink from any of the tainted cups, you will lose and be under my spell, and vice versa.
The goblets have been set up in stations, each with their own rules.
I'll spare you the long speech and just let you read the rules. Ready to prove a goblin is smarter than a man? Stay away from that. It's not needed yet. Oh, don't mind that. Just a simple trinket. Leave that alone. It's just a decorative prop. Oh, don't mind that. Just a simple trinket.
There was one clue for each set of goblets. Someone must have thought themselves pretty clever.
You're doing great, sweetheart.
Three brothers wave, two of them knights, the other a knave. Knaves lie without fear, knights are truthful. Lend them your ear, Only one cup is neutral.
Only one goblet was safe to drink from.
Cup 1 is safe. Beware, Royal Guard B always lies. Cup 1 and 4 are tainted. Cup 2 is tainted, and Royal Guard number A always lies. Okay, so 3 of them are tainted. Since this guy is saying 2 of them are tainted, that must mean that one of them is without a doubt tainted, so he is not lying. At least about one of them being tainted, so, if Guard A always lies, then 2, 1, and 4 are tainted, and 3 is fine.
Finish this one too. Simple, really.
Good for you. Oh, it's gonna get harder, isn't it? Which 4 goblets are safe to drink? This puzzle will reveal the link. Trolls carry napkins to wipe fruit juice from their chest. Dragons never eat grapes, the flavor they detest. Snoots and trolls peel their food before they ingest. Each creature eats a different type of fruit. Which treat pairs with the troll, dragon, badger, and badger? Remember anything about a badger? Troll, dragon, snoot, troll. Yeah. Didn't say anything about a badger. Oh, badger, dragon. What is that? That? Troll, snoot. This is Snoot because it looks like a dog. What if that's a badger? That's a troll. Dragons don't eat grapes. Does that mean that's the one that's safe to drink? Okay, dragons never eat grapes. Trolls carry napkins. What does that have to do with anything? Fruit juice from their chest. Is that... Is that a snoot or is that a badger? Is this the badger or is that the snoot? The heck is a snoot? If that's a snoot, that's right. If that's a snoot, then it's wrong.
Neither of us are hypnotized, so let's continue on.
Hey, I got it. Guards standing in formation. In 4 rows they will align. Pay attention to their location. No guard should repeat on the same line. Find the 3s in their stations. Cups will taste fine. Is this Sudoku? Like a simpler Sudoku? Okay, 2, 2. The 2 goes here. Goes here. Three goes here. One goes here. Threes, okay. 3, 3.
Not really much of a challenge for minds like ours.
Each digit reveals a set of adjacent black squares in a corresponding row or column. Multiple digits in a row or column reveal multiple sets of consecutive black squares separated by at least one square. 15 of these cups are safe to drink. That's a lot of cups. I don't understand this. I can't process it. Okay. Okay, so if 1 here would mean 1 and 2. 2 would mean 2. 4 would mean 1 would mean 2. Here. Pretty easy.
Mordak, you could have made these a little more challenging.
Every time I look at these, I'm completely overwhelmed, but then it gets easy after. Kings can be brave, compassionate, or wise, but there is only one path that leads to all three. To find the one cup that is safe to drink, you must follow the path that begins on a triangle and ends on a 3. What? Begins on a triangle and ends on a... What? Can't interact with anything. Oh. Okay, so the only thing I can interact with is the cup. One path that leads to being brave, compassionate. Oh, it's math. I mean, it needs to be 3. Definitely not one of these though. Because it's not. Well, maybe if it was a negative number. I don't know if it would be that complex though. Well, I mean, 6 minus 5 is 1, 2, 3.
One more to go. Think you can handle it?
Is this the hard one? Good King looks towards the future, but is always conscious of what he is leaving behind. What? Oh. Oh. It's like a combination of all of the different rules. But it doesn't tell me how many I need. Or how many to drink. Or which ones are safe. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, what? What? Three. Three? Nah. Hmm. Three. Got heart, star, spade, diamond, club. Diamond. Heart. Star. Spade. Club. You have to add them up? Or what? One, four, four. Doesn't say. 2, 3, 7, 8, 10? No? Which ones did I drink? I get it. Oh, maybe it's... How many are left? That's 3. I think that's 12. 16 minus 4. What did I say? 3 and 12. And 12. Three and 12 and 12. And 3 and 12, 12 and 10. 4.
The duel was at a standstill. Neither competitor could prove they were smarter than the other.
I was afraid of this, friend. Although you started out as a lanky bumbleward, over the years my trials have conditioned your wits to equal mine. No matter. I have a backup plan. This flame enchantment will ensure neither of us can leave until the other has perished. How about instead of wits, we engage in a lethal game of chance?
Grandpa had no choice but to play the game. He was trapped and his kingdom was on the line.
I won this set of goblets from a game of wits with Lord Sarwyn. One of them holds an irreversible eradicating elixir. A powerful magic that will slowly destroy whatever it touches from the inside out. There are no special markings or any way to puzzle out which is the poisoned vessel. If there was, I would have slipped it into the batter of your breakfast years ago. But what fun would that have been? We'll each take turns choosing a goblet to drink from until they're all gone, and the better man wins. You'll drink first.
Grandpa was at a loss. For the first time in his life, the 4 E's of puzzle solving could not inform his decision. There was no logic to puzzle out. No clues or hints. Just a simple choice of life or death.
Leave that alone. It's just a decorative prop. Take your time. There's no strategy here. Just blind luck. Something you've always excelled at. Oh, don't mind that. Just a simple trinket. Take your time. There's no stress. Well, I guess you won. Bested me. Good show, old friend. Guess I'll ingest this and call it a night. But you know I don't play fair. And you've just revealed where the elixir is hiding. You played right into my trap. Just like that foolish archer.
Yep. Grandpa's life was spared, and our whole family moved to Avalon. The end.
No, Gwendolyn.
What?
It couldn't have ended like that. You know, if I chose that pup, it would have destroyed the very castle you are standing in. There was only one solution.
He was out of options. Grandpa looked around at the kingdom he created and realized there was only one choice. Grandpa knew the eradicating elixir would slowly destroy him from the inside, but Daventry would live on. That day, Manny was outsmarted in a way he never imagined possible. In a way he could not comprehend.
Huh. Nice move. I'll accept that. But let's see if I can help speed up the effects of that potion.
There was 2 goblets on the table.
Thinking man to brute force. I hope you're happy.
I mean, even though he had one of them in his hand, there was still 2 on the table.
You've already won. There's no need to torture him.
It was at that moment, while his body was being jerked through the air, that Mordak was reminded of his first encounter with Grandpa. Those memories stirred up something fierce inside Mordak. Manny didn't save him from a life of goblin abuse. Grandpa did. And it was time he repaid the favor.
Leave him be. I won't ask you again.
I guess it's time I held your tongue.
Manny's enchantments over the castle were broken, and he was never heard from again. Daventry continues to thrive and prosper, thanks to the sacrifices made by King Graham, the greatest grandpa to have ever lived. Is he still...
Oh, yes. He heard every word.
Thank you, Gwendolyn. The hat suits you well.
It was beautiful. You kids have always brought so much joy to your grandfather.
All of his children have.
All right, kiddos, it's bedtime. Say goodnight to Grandpa and I'll tuck you in.
Good night, Grandpa. I love you.
I love you too, God. And I am proud of you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
I just want to say, you're the best grandpa, and my favorite person in the world. I love you. And I'm so sorry you didn't get your last adventure.
Sweetheart, there is nothing to be sorry about. I now know that all of my adventures will live on forever inside of you. As long as you keep telling my stories, they will never die.
Thanks for sharing them with me, Grandpa. I love you.
I love you too, dear. Go get some rest. Wake me in the morning, and we can make some pancakes.
Grandpa.
Where did she got a... She got a tapestry. I mean, she's a good character, but there were other ones that got left out. Oh, maybe it's because some choice I made, I don't know. Maybe these are all because of some choice I made. Walk so slow. I know it's she's sad, but no, I wish she'd hurry up a little. Pictures of her.
My sweetheart Gwendolyn, when you read this letter, you'll already know about the crown I have left for you and why. Please don't worry about me. I lived a long, fulfilling life, and I wouldn't change one decision. I've led this kingdom with all the bravery I could muster, and I've seen that same courage in your eyes. But I would never force upon you rules and addenda to protect my legacy. You must make your own decisions. I only share my stories in the hope that they would help you down whichever path you choose for Daventry. Go forth and be Queen Gwendolyn the Brave, or the Patient, or the Dragon Slayer. Just know that I will always be watching over you and kissing your forehead from the stars above.
Bed looks dirty. So there's an epilogue for this, or is it a prologue? It's an epilogue. I think epilogue comes after. And I don't have it because I have the season pass or whatever instead of the complete version. You can't buy the complete version on Steam anymore. You can only buy it from some other source. I can't remember. It's either GOG or Humble Bundle. But I don't want to buy the game again. just so I can play the end. Might just watch a YouTube video of it, but I'll probably do that after the stream is over. Thought about playing the YouTube video on the stream, but there's not much point to that. I like the musical fanfare at the end with the King's Quest sound, King's Quest music. Most of that chapter was kind of depressing. I think I like the other chapters better generally. It wasn't terrible, and it was moving in some ways. Really annoyed not to have the epilogue. I guess I can kind of understand that it was a special thing for people who pre-ordered, but I think the majority of the people who pre-ordered are not gonna care if, you know, the people who bought the season pass get it. I think they should retroactively add it to for the people who own it on Steam. Not really any music. Just kind of ambient noise. Usually I let the credits play out, but ambient noise. Now chapter 5. Not because I didn't let the thing play out, did it? Or maybe it's because the choices don't really matter after that? I don't know.